Kamen Rider Gavv, The Sweet Squad, Part 3, the finale. The four Gavv imposters, Patsy, Choco-L'amour, Zack, Snacky, Fofo, Mallow, and Brindle, Crush, revealed themselves as Granutes, but later defunct after understanding happiness for the humans and the actions of the Stomach Company. The four lived with the victims until getting turned into human presses and died by the new Granutes. They became Kamen Riders thanks to Dent, who Shoma and the four meet while Hando gets kidnapped by a high-ranked Granute named Kamio. Shoma, Patsy, Zack, Fofo, and Brindle arrived at the quarry the next day, where the Granutes Kamio, Leon, Tyra, Gale, and Uni are waiting with Hando and the human presses as hostages. Finding out that the five Gavv riders are going to surrender and be executed instead of transforming to rescue him because of no Gochizos interferences, Hando yells at Shoma to run, not wanting to see him and the four get turned into presses and die to the Stomach Company's hands. The five don't care, saying it's for the best for the people to survive. As they kneel to the ground for the agents to apprehend them, all hope seems lost, until Hando notices the rope that tied him have been loose, thanks to a mysterious man in disguise, allowing Hando to take back the Valnbuster and the presses from the five Granutes and, with the returning Chocodan Gochizo from that man, transforms into Valen and defeats the agents to free Shoma and the four riders, who the five revealed that the plan was a success. This made the Granutes furious by this, especially Valen, who tells the five to not scare him like that. The five riders revealed that they received help from a man as a secret helper in the Gochizos' place, as that man on the top of the quarry gives Shoma and the four their respective Gochizos, Popping Gummy, Chocodan, Zaku Chips, Fuwa Mallow, and Garukin to transform into Kamen Riders Gavv, Choco-L'amour, Snacky, Mallow, and Crush. They perform their roll call to be Gummy Power, Chocolate Power, Snack Power, Marshmallow Power, and Candy Power, before their Kamen Rider name and the team to be called the Sweet Squad, making Valen confused and amazed by this. The Granutes and the agents clashed against the Sweet Squad and Valen in an epic battle. Gavv and Valen against Kamio, Choco-L'amour against Leon, Snacky against Tyra, Mallow against Gale, and Crush against Uni. With multiple Gochizos help to obtain assist forms, the squad wounded the Granutes as Gavv transforms into his caking form to perform the finishing touches, using his Gavv whipper to create a giant cake to trap the Granutes inside, before reverting back into his Poppin' Gummy form to perform the Sweet Squad Rider kick on top of the cake to be known as the Sweet Storm Finale, destroying the five Granutes from the inside and explodes with the squad jumping out of the cake and pose in victory. However, one Granute was turned into a giant, as it reveals that the five have been fused to be known as Giant, and that they possessed that power as a modification thanks to Night Elf. The riders tried to defeat the giant but were defeated by the fusion giant. However, the six tried to stand up, as Gavv explains that they'll never be defeated and that they have something important to attend to with Valen and the Sweet Squad to join the fun. Giant talks back that the four are Granutes and humans will never trust them for who they are. However, the four explained that some Granutes will become good if seeing and learning about happiness in the human world and realizing the company's actions, and that the four were happy to get along in that world to make a rebellion against the company. The victims that were with the four until their death by the four Granutes' hands will always be with them, not as revenge, but to give them the courage to fight against the monsters that threaten the earth and the universe, all the above. With that, the Sweet Squad will bring back happiness around the world so that the humans could keep on living. The squad use a special Gochizo called 5 stars that each of them have from the man to transform into a fusion giant of Kamen Rider Gavv Poppin' Gummy with both the Fuwa Mallow and Garukin arms on the right and left respectively, and the Zaku Chips and Chocodan legs also on the right and left, as the giant's Gavv is in 5 colors based on the squad, as the giant's now called Kamen Rider Sweet. Much to Valen and Giant's surprised reactions, Kamen Rider Sweet battles Giant, using many powers from the 5 sweet types to overwhelm the monster. Giant couldn't believe it, but says that it's impossible for other Granutes to get along with the humans. The Rider Giant said that to be true, but those upcoming part-time Granutes will get used to it when or until they understand if it's a good or bad thing to do. Kamen Rider Sweet finishes Jand off by summoning the Sweet's sword to infuse the 5 Sweet powers to perform the Sweet's finish, ending the 5 Beast Granutes' job for good. Separating and shrinking to normal size, the Sweet's squad freed the people with no memory and left the quarry to return to their original homes. As the 6 riders watched on by hiding, Shoma tells Hanto to go ahead and that he and the squad will be with him by tonight, making Hanto agree and leave. The squad went up to the man, who was actually Dent this whole time, to thank him for the help and that they couldn't have done it without his plan. Dent says that he will always have the best plans for the squad as a genius mentor to them, and that giving the 5 stars treats based on the 5 Ranger TV show was his first plan to be successful. Patsy, Zack, Fofo, and Perennial planned on leaving Japan to go their separate ways in France, North America, Brazil, and the United Kingdom respectively. But the 4 don't want to miss their first New Year's Eve party in Japan with Shoma since discussing it by last night. Tonight at the little town, the Sweets squad meet up with Hanto and Sakika, with 7 of them wearing kimonos to celebrate the party, and Sakika sees that Shoma has made new friends much to her delight. Stargazing, Shoma sees 5 shooting stars that are golden, much to Sakika's amazement, thinking it means to receive a greater wish than other shooting stars, as the 7 make their own wishes upon those 5 stars before continuing on with the party. Back in the Stomach family's home, Longo, Glada, and Nielv are disappointed that the plan has failed, but plan on continuing with the original mission. Nielv heads back to his room, saying that the next plan will be in action by next year, revealing the practically vast Humgra to be used for someone that he had hired to become Kamen Rider Vram. Meanwhile, the 5 gold shooting stars crashed to the quarry where the final battle took place, revealing them to be golden rings featuring the first 5 Reiwa Kamen Riders in each of those rings.
Kamen Rider Gavv versus #1 Sentai Gochizos.
See you next time!